guys, it's Tara from 15 Minutes to Flawless, and today I wanted to give you 6 tips for curling your hair. Before we get started, I wanted to share my curling wand. It is the T3 Whirl Interchangeable Trio. I've linked it below. It is phenomenal and I highly recommend it. I just wanted to bring it up and show you guys since I have gotten a couple questions on that. Alright, so tip number 1, figure out your part situation. What I mean by that is figure out what you want your part to look like once your hair is curled beforehand, because it's a lot harder to fix afterwards. So I'm going for a straight part here. You don't necessarily have to make it straight, just kind of make sure that it's the way you want it to ultimately look. And then tip number 2 is don't put too much or too little on your wand. So this would be about 1 inch right here. This is about the right amount right here. Don't go for like a honkin' chunk like this, because what it's gonna do is it's gonna make your hair a lot more wavy than curly if you put too much on. And that's perfectly fine if you want more of a wave than a curl, but if you want to curl, go with about a 1 inch section. And then my next tip is brush each section through. So just kind of like once you get the hair, so say I'm going to do this section right here, feeling good about this section, I'm going to brush it through first, and that's going to make it really, really straight. And then the next step is to make sure that you curl away from your face. So like you would curl, I'll show you guys. You're going to curl like this, not in the opposite direction, if that makes sense. You let it sit for maybe 4 seconds or so. And then the next tip is to cup the curl in your hand when it's done. This really helps it to set like that. And then the next tip that I have for you, and I already did it just now, is to not curl your hair starting at the very top, especially if you have longer hair. So see how I left a little bit of hair there? You don't want to start the wand all the way up here. You kind of want to let it down like this. See how that's really pretty? That's just gives it a little bit of space. Now if you have shorter hair, you can move the curl a little bit further up, but with longer hair, I recommend moving it down. And then my next tip is as you get towards these more face framing sections of your hair, what I recommend doing is rather than pointing the wand down or almost completely down like this, move it almost horizontally. And what that will do is that's going to kind of fan the hair back from your face versus kind of making it lay flat. And I could go ahead and do the whole curl, the whole hair. I'll do a couple more for you guys just to kind of illustrate that. So I do a 1 inch section. I think I actually forgot to brush the last section because I was talking. Brush it through. Make sure that I'm curling away. So forward would be, it's hard to explain, but forward would be like moving the hair towards the front. Away is putting the wand behind the hair instead of in front of the hair. And then see how I give it maybe like 2-3 inches. So that part's going to be straight. And then since it's a little bit further back, I'm tilting the wand down more. And then holding it for maybe 4 seconds. And then I cup the curl, and then I'll let it down. And that are all the tricks. So let me do just one more to kind of repeat it, because if you guys are anything like me, like you need repetition. So I take about 1 inch. Usually I start with a little bit too much. And you can totally section your hair, by the way, and put up like the top part and curl it in 2 sections. I do that so when I have a little bit more time. When I'm time pressed, I don't actually do that. So now that I've gotten the 1-inch section, not too big of a section, I brush it through with my brush. And then if this were a section that were more here, I would tilt it more horizontally. Since it's further back, I'm going to tilt it down. I'm going to kind of forego the first few inches. And then when I wrap, I make sure it's really flat on the barrel. And then just kind of hold it. Sometimes I actually pull it away just to make sure I do have those couple of inches. And then I cup it to let it set. It's really kind of warm on your hand. And then let it down like that. So that's kind of the start. And then just to kind of like jump to the end, what I like to do at the end is kind of run my fingers from the inside out. Kind of a little bonus tip for y'all. And by the time I'm done, it gives our curls more of a chance to set. But what it does is it loosens them up and it makes them look a lot more natural. How pretty is that? Upcoming, I will do a whole video on curling your hair. But for today, I hope those 6 tips were helpful. If you guys enjoyed them, feel free to follow me on 15minutestoflawless.com. I've got a lot more tips and tricks there for beauty as well as fashion. And I've gone ahead and linked that below, as well as my Instagram, my Facebook, etc., and the wand that I'm using. Thanks so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.